to another edition of Billievers Talk with your hosts Steve and Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And before we get started, we just want to remind you, please be sure to subscribe to our video, to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and leave a comment or two if you need to talk to us. We'll happily talk about anything that you want to talk about. So we're going to get started. In this episode, we're going to talk a lot about salary cap. We not only want to use this channel to talk about Bills things, however, we also want to talk about things, just knowledge, and give sports fans knowledge of things they might not normally know about. So today we're going to talk about the salary cap. Before we do, there was some big news this week. We'll bring the news to you as well of the week. Josh McDaniels decided not to be the head coach of the Colts. Which doesn't surprise us as a Patriot coach, but it looks like it might affect the Bills in the long term. Leslie Frazier, our defensive coordinator, is one of the coaches that they are looking into possibly getting as their new head coach. So if that happens, from what we understand, more than likely our linebackers coach then becomes our defensive coordinator. But we want to talk about the effect that has on the Bills and what you're thinking about there.
Yeah, Frazier. I really like Frazier. He did good with the defense last year. As far as him leaving, I think it hurt him a little bit. It's nice having a former head coach, especially with McDermott, his first stint.
Yeah.
2 years. You know, he can lean on
Former
somebody.
Defensive coordinator, yeah.
Yeah, he can lean on him a little bit to figure some things out if need be.
Yeah.
Bob Babich.
Yeah.
He was defensive coordinator 2 other times in the NFL, so he has some experience.
Mm-hmm.
He's been coaching since the 80s.
Okay.
So he was a head coach at North Dakota State for, I believe, 3 to 4 years. So, I mean, he has some experience. Like I said, 2 stints, one with Chicago, one with Jacksonville most recently as defensive coordinator. So he has some, but, you know.
Frazier's nice, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice to keep everybody together a little bit, especially on the defensive side, because we're going to have some moving pieces there because of free agency.
I would like to keep our whole team, including the coaching staff, together as well, but I feel like I would be more concerned if we had like a offensive coordinator who was because since McDermott was a defensive coordinator, that puts a lot more pressure on him, like as far as calling defenses, things like that, a lot more pressure on him, and that's not something we want for a second-year head coach. But at the same time, you know, he knows defense, so I feel comfortable with that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He's getting interviewed today. Leslie Frazier's getting interviewed today. And you know more about the other candidates?
Yeah, Frank Wright and Dan Campbell, the tight ends coach from New Orleans. So I'm hoping. I like Frank Wright, so I'm hoping, but I'd like to see him go in and get his own staff.
Sure.
A lot of the staff is already hired.
Right.
Indy, so. Hopefully Dan Campbell gets that job. That's the best case scenario for the Bills. So,
I don't know what that situation is going to be like. I mean, they've already hired their coaching staff other than their head coach.
Yeah.
They need to hire someone quickly because the combine's not that far away and things like that. So that's just a really weird situation. McDaniels didn't do them any favors by skipping out on.
No,
I don't know what that's about.
I know last week you heard about before the Super Bowl about him. Possibly backing out, and now it came true.
So, it was interesting to listen to the Colts GM or whoever talk about that, and I was like, no matter what you say, it's going to set them back. I feel really bad for them, but
I mean, they're scouting the players that the coaches wanted. That goes way back, so it puts the scouting behind, puts everybody really behind. So
I don't know.
Free agency wise and all that, but.
So that's our review on that. Please be sure to comment if you have any other thoughts on that situation. Obviously, in the next week or so, we'll know for sure what's going to happen. And then if we have to, next week we'll talk a little bit more about Frazier leaving or staying, hopefully. But now we're going to get into the portion of the show that we were going to talk about with salary cap. We're going to give you the definition of salary cap, the difference between the salary cap for football or the NFL compared to other sports. And so, Steve, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay, well, most of you probably already know, but the salary cap for the NFL is a hard cap. They have a strict number, they stay to it. The NBA, basketball, baseball, they all have a cap number, like teams like Golden State, the Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I can't speak today. But they all can go over the cap, and then their owners just have to pay a luxury tax.
Okay.
So the more they're winning, they're like, well, we don't care.
Right.
Yeah, we'll spend more money because we'll get more money for playoff tickets, merchandise, all that. So they just pay a luxury tax, and that's why you have some of those dynasties in the NBA and in baseball.
Right.
So the NFL, they do a hard cap. This year, it's projected to be 178 million.
Okay. Which is up from last year, right?
Yes.
Something like that.
So, but what the NFL allows teams to do, if they didn't use some of the cap from last year, which every team has to spend 95% of the cap each year, and that unused money that they don't spend the year before, they allow them to roll so much of that over.
Okay.
So the Bills have $10.6 million that they can roll over from last year.
Okay.
So that gives them a cap number for this year of 188.6 million.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when you're doing the cap, only the top 51 contracts count towards the cap.
Okay.
For the salary cap. There is 53 guys on the roster. I don't know why the NFL does it this way, but they do it that way. Same thing as they only allow you to have 47 guys active out of your 53 roster forever. So, but the other thing too is you got to watch with the cap number. Dead money. When they cut a player, trade a player, that money usually gets pushed into the next year of the guaranteed money left on that contract. So that account is dead money.
Okay.
The Bills this year have 18.6 million in dead money.
Great.
A lot of that, 14 million of it is from Darius trade, which I know everybody's like, oh my God, we're still paying him $14 million. But in the long run, it really benefits us.
Yeah, yeah. You told me like in 2019 we're saving, like 2019 and beyond, we're saving a lot of money.
The last 3 years of his deal, we're saving over $47 million.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where it really.
I mean, last year we saved $2 million on him by trading during the year. This year we'll save $3 million on the cap, and then next year you're looking at $47 million of savings. So it really sets us up long term better. I mean, Darius was a heck of a player when he wanted to be.
Yeah. That was the
problem with him.
Right.
The contract just was not good for the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, and you even saw that with the Jaguars. Like there were times where he was very disruptive in the run game, especially, but then other times you don't hear from him. And yeah, I was really okay with the Darius trade. He wasn't doing much for us, so if he's not comfortable in the situation, we're not comfortable with that, paying him that much money.
I mean, Darius, he was upset he got traded for, it was a 6th round pick originally. Since they made the playoffs, it turned into a 5th.
Right.
So he was upset that he was getting traded for that, but with that contract,
it
was hard to move him.
Yeah.
The Bills did pretty good by at least getting something.
Yeah.
Because if they would have cut him, then they would be on more of a hook.
Yeah. So before everyone gets mad at like Bean or something for not doing something, just remember that because of Whaley, right, our previous GM, like some of that he's really restrictive this year on what he can do.
Yeah, some of these contracts you get into, they are very bad contracts.
Yeah.
And for the NFL, you have to draft good, which we haven't done in 17 years.
Yep.
And you have to make smart decisions on contracts,
which we
have front loaded them, back loaded them, just everything, and it just hasn't worked for us. So Bean came in and he's trying to clear out to get some cap space, because if we did not have Darius off the books, we would have $15 million of cap space this year.
Wow.
That would be awful. As of right now, we have $29 million cap space. So we're the 4th highest, but we do have a lot of free agents.
Yeah, which we'll get into in future episodes coming up here soon too. So basically what we're going to do now is, unless you had more information you want to share.
No, I was just going to go over like the dead money of who we're paying dead money to.
Yeah.
Kind of explain what that was. It was the guaranteed money left on other players' contracts.
Right, yeah. So Steve's going to talk about dead money. And like he said, that's players' contracts who either were traded or just left just cut, but we still owe them money. So that's what we're talking about with bad contracts. Like you don't want to be doing that a lot, and we seem to do that a lot with big money.
You're hoping when you're signing somebody to a big contract, they're
sticking around, right? So go over those numbers real quick.
Darius is $14.2 million against the cap this year, so that's the big one. Aaron Williams, safety, which we released, and a lot of it wasn't his fault. I think he would have still been here, but the neck issues.
Yeah, the neck issues, right?
That's $2.4 million. I mean, it's not terrible. Those are numbers you're likely going to see on here, but that 14.2 with Darius is just insane.
Yeah.
Ragland, we traded him. That's 1.2 million.
Yep.
Darby, 395,000. So that's not bad at all.
Right.
Cardell Jones was 192,000. Jonathan Williams, 120,000. Kobe Listovy was 66,000. Kevon Seymour is 50,000. And Jason Crom, who's actually back on our roster, because when they move rosters and they have to cut players at certain times, something like that. Right. He was cut at a time, and that's $7,000. So it equals out to 18,681,000. Yep. So that's kind of what we're looking at. That's the dead cap money, and that's where that comes from, if you were wondering.
Yep. So you said some names there. This throws me back a little bit, but yeah. But so that's my owed people. Like you said, that last player he named, he's like our fourth tight end or something like that, if you don't know. And he's basically on our practice squad, and he'll be there if Clay and O'Leary get hurt, which seems to happen more than we like it to. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what the dead money is. So now we're gonna get into a little bit of each player and how much they're owed as far as salary cap. That did remind me real quick. As far as dead money goes, what's Eric Wood's situation with him being forced to retire? I didn't know if you had any information about that.
So technically, right now he's still on our active roster. So his contract is still active. So it's not going to be included in that dead money.
Okay.
He has his contract for this year. Let me look at here. It's $8.6 million.
Okay.
That's what his total base salary would be for this year.
Sure.
Of that, 5.5, let's say 5.6 is guaranteed.
Okay.
So whatever happens with him, which it sounds like he can't play again.
Right.
I believe they're going to have to push that into this year because they already rolled their cap money over. Right. So that's why they can't do anything this year, and that's prolonging his retirement, so to speak. So on this upcoming year, this 2018 year, it's going to be 5.6 million for him, dead cap money. We'll save $3 million off of his total, so so we'll gain $3 million of cap space. So we'll be at like $32 million.
Okay.
But you lose Eric Wood,
which is always a big loss. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just want to know a little bit more about that situation. I don't think he can officially retire from the Bills until the beginning of the new NFL season.
Yeah, I mean, March. He had his retirement, but he didn't come out and say he was retired. Yeah. And I don't know if they're fighting about money, trying to get some of that money back to help the cap out, or if, because they rolled over money, they can't put him on the cap, so they got to take it into next year. And they just re-upped him last summer, to a 2-year deal. So he would have been a free agent this year. And they re-upped him. They did the right thing of keeping him around, but it was a freak, freak accident, and hopefully, everything with him and his family life and everything is good to go.
Yeah, we wish him nothing but the best. I mean, you hate to see injuries like this take out anybody. I'm a huge proponent. Like, I know a lot of you out there don't even care. Like, don't care if you see Tom Brady get hurt. Like, I'm not about that. Like, I'm just
I just want to see Tom Brady retire.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's him retire. But like, you think about like family life and things like that. Like, these people are human beings still. I mean, they entertain us and make us hate them sometimes, but they are still human beings. So we wish him and nothing but the best. So, but yeah, okay. So now we're gonna get more into current roster, their salary cap, dead money versus, or guaranteed money, I guess you could call it, versus money that they might be owed. So you have those numbers there.
I mean, if you want to look at it here, like I said, we have 29 million in cap space right now.
Right.
The best way to get some cap space is Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Whether you like him or not, he's due $18 million this year.
And that's our highest.
That's his salary. If we keep him on the roster, this is how it breaks down. The first day of the league year, he's on the books for $2 million. He gets a bonus. Okay. So that money's guaranteed. That's his signing bonus.
Sure.
Now we have up to the third day of the league year, which would be March 16th at 4 p.m. If he is still on the roster at that time, we owe him a $6 million bonus.
Okay.
That's his roster bonus. Okay? So that would bring his total up to $8 million.
$8 million, Okay.
His base salary for the year is $10 million. So there's your $18 million. That's how you get that.
That's how you get the $18 million, okay.
But if with the cool thing with his contract, and I've been going back and forth about this. You know, some people are like, well, you owe him, you're going to owe him $8 million, you might as well keep him.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. His roster bonus on the third day of the league year is not guaranteed until he is on the roster that day.
Right.
So before March 16th at 4 p.m., we can either cut him or trade him.
Okay. And
then we open up $16 million of cap space.
Sure.
My personal opinion, cut him, trade him if you can, do something, get that cap space, because he is not worth $18 million.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, we'll get into it at other shows about the free agency quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay some of those guys $7-8 million.
Sure.
Get a rookie, let him learn. You know, even if the rookie plays away, it'll save you a lot of money. And with all the free agents that we have, that's the best case scenario for us to get rid of Tyrod, move on, get the cap space, and go from there.
And I'm not sure if you mentioned this in the last show or not. That's one thing, like new coaches, you want your guy in there, right? Like, I mean, that's what happened with Rex Ryan. I mean, when Rex came along, we had E.J. Manuel. Yeah. And he brought in Tyrod, and like you said, his first year was his best year.
Now, Tyrod's been hampered because he's had an offensive coordinator every year different.
Right.
The first and second year, he had the same until, you know, a few games in, and
they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Or Anthony Lynn, right?
No, Roman got
fired.
Yeah, and they brought Lynn in, let him. It was still the same, but different play caller.
Yeah, it's always
changed a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. So. No, that's a great point. So the $2 million is guaranteed. So we have to pay him $2 million no matter what. But that's $16 million cap space where we can, like you said, with our 20 free agents or whatever it is, like we can use help in other areas, and that helps out a lot. So that's where we can save the most money. Continue down the list, we have Cordy Glenn.
That's another guy I could see us moving. He's at like a $14.5 million cap hit for the year. His contract, though, is $11 million guaranteed.
So it's only $3 million really to keep him. Right.
You can get rid of him and get a savings of like $3.5 million, which there's a possibility. They were talking about training last year.
Yeah.
Deion Dawkins played really good at left tackle.
Yep.
Or offensive line, though, going into this year. After this year, I believe we had 3 or 4 offensive linemen still under contract. One of those would have been Eric Wood, so that really you have 3. That'd be like Cordy Glenn, Deion Dawkins, and Connor McDermott. Backup. I don't think he's even dressed this past year. So that's an area of need that we have to have. So maybe they keep him for long term, but his cap numbers, you're looking at 14.5 million, 12 million, and then another 14. So maybe they try to get that off the book to help them a little later too. Yeah, especially if they can trade up and use them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's worth a shot.
And it was funny because I was reading an article about Cordy Glenn just this week, and it was talking about how he's ready to move in as center if he needs to be with the injury of Eric Wood. And I was like, of course you are, because you stink. So like we're paying you. So
he did play at Georgia. He played all through the offensive line, and when he came out, everybody thought he was going to be a guard. So maybe we move him into a guard. Yeah, that's a possibility because Richie Incognito is in his last year of his deal. He's 35.
Right.
His cap number this year is $7.5 million. Okay. Well, he's only guaranteed $1.1 million.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to save, here's another. We can save some money. You can save, $6.2 million by releasing Incognito. I don't think they do that. He's playing. He's playing pretty
really well. And I really like him.
I like to see him stay there, but that could be a possibility. And then the cap for Cordy Glenn is just crazy. But
it is.
So they'd still have to keep that cap. They'd save one this year, and long term, they'd be hurting themselves. So I believe Cordy Glenn leaves. But with Incognito, maybe they switch some money around to save on the cap a little bit, or extend him a year. That could help him out for this year's cap.
Yeah. And then, I mean, any of these guys, can we renegotiate with them at any time?
Yeah.
Or, if they want to renegotiate the contract.
Like Benjamin. He's due $8.5 million this year. He's in the final year of his contract. That's all fully guaranteed. Maybe they try to, sign him for a few extra years. Yeah. They can push out some of that guaranteed money. They can lower this year's cap maybe. Most likely not, I think.
So the Benjamin situation, I believe Carolina signed his 5th-year option out of his rookie contract. Then he got traded to us. So we still have to honor that 5th-year contract, so because it was already signed.
Yeah,
so.
And I think that's one of the reasons they traded for him. They got that 5th year.
Yeah.
They know $8.5 million for Benjamin. I mean, for your #1 receiver, really isn't
that's not bad. And for everyone watching, saying Benjamin didn't do well this year. Remember, he did have a torn meniscus.
Yeah,
pretty much right after he got traded to us, and he
played through a lot.
Yeah, so hopefully next year we'll see a fully improved and healthy Benjamin, and that'll be really good to see. So we do look forward to that.
Getting back to some more cap numbers if you want to here. Jerry Hughes, which I heard a lot of people saying about moving on from Jerry Hughes.
Yep.
I don't believe we should do that. He's our best defensive lineman. We're going to need help there. There's not too many guys under contract.
Right.
He has a $10.5 million hit this year. That's his cap number. If you wanted to get rid of him, we'd have, I believe it's $5 million in dead cap money.
Okay.
So you could save $5 million, $5.5 million, but I don't think we'd do that.
The thing with Jerry Hughes, wasn't he, like, they were talking about cutting him last year too, weren't they? Like when he came in, like they were like, we weren't sure if he was going to make the roster or not. I thought he played well. Yeah, I thought he played well.
He has a high motor. He flies all over the place. As of now, there's nobody on the defensive line that can kind of really help him out. Shaq Lawson was out last year.
Yep.
Kyle Williams, love him, but he's not going to. He's not going to get 20 sacks a year.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, it's a bunch of guys rotating in and out. So he's really our one stud. Every offensive line focuses on him.
Yep.
They double team him. That's why his numbers were down. I believe when Shaq Lawson gets back healthy, it'll really help out. I mean, he's another person that they're talking about maybe trading to get some picks for him. But
Shaq Lawson.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't make sense. He has like a $2.5 million cap hit this year, and that's all fully guaranteed.
Right.
So.
Well, he's still under his rookie contract, right? So rookie contracts are all fully guaranteed. Is that correct?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Especially he was a first round pick.
He was a first round pick. He's pretty much been hurt both years that we've when we got him, he was already out for the season pretty much, right?
Yeah, there was
shoulder injury or something.
Yeah. That he was going to need surgery, and some teams thought he was, and obviously I guess we didn't think we was going to be. I believe a lot of that was Rex wanting a Clemson guy because of his son going to Clemson.
Sure. But yeah, so I mean, when I've seen him on the field, the short time I have, I like him.
Yeah.
I really do, but we'll see what the injuries.
I mean, his first year he was playing out of position too. Outside linebacker, which wasn't him.
Right.
He's a 4-3 defensive
Right.
They run a 4-3 now. Personnel is good, so
hopefully he improves.
Yeah, I think both those players stay. I think you have to.
Next player on the list is a contract I hated from the moment we got it. I don't mind the player as much, Charles Clay. I think he's a decent player.
I like him.
But man, that contract hurt.
Yeah. When they signed the contract, it was more so to keep him. They had to do something to get him away from Miami. They wanted him. That was their prize free agent of the year. Not to look here. I do have the contract numbers of when he did sign it. I have to find them some spot.
And he was
not here.
He was a restricted free agent, so that means we had to give him an offer that any offer we gave him, Miami could have matched.
Yes.
So we had to go above what we knew Miami was going to offer.
Yeah, his contract at the time was a 5-year, $38 million contract, and $24.5 million of it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on the books for till 2020.
Okay.
So, but this year it's $9 million
guaranteed.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
His contract's fully guaranteed. So anybody complaining that we need to get rid of him, not happening.
Not happening. Why?
I mean, I guess you could trade him for a pick, but
why? Yeah, you're not getting
$9 million.
Yeah, you're $9 million, and you're getting maybe a 4th, 5th round pick.
Yeah.
So.
And Clay, I like Clay. He's one of the most athletic tight ends in the league. He does drop some balls.
And I feel like he gets hurt. Like he was out 2-3 games both years.
Well, when we signed him, they were talking about he only had a couple years left because of his knee problem.
Right.
He was having his knee drained like every week or every other week. That's why Miami didn't match it. But
and I really think we could have got injured in the Cincinnati game this year. And I feel like we would have won that game if Clay was in that whole game.
He's been in and out of the lineup a lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember his exact numbers, how many games he missed this year.
I like Charles Clay, just the contract was like, wow, one of those contracts that you really question.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to get away from with Bean. Hopefully he does a little better with it, but I think this year it'll be a little tighter with the cap space. Like I said, we have 29 million.
Yep. But we have 20 free agents, so we have a lot of re-signing to do, or
we'll get 3 million with the Eric Wood situation. So that'll put us up at 32.
Yep. And
then Tyrod, if we let go of him, that gives us an extra 16.
Yep.
So we're looking at 48.
Yep.
And for the most part, you know, the contract or the roster right now has 54 players on it that are signed to the Bills. Probably the bottom 15 to 20 of those guys will be cut.
Okay.
So you're looking, you could possibly get another 10 million there.
Okay.
Once we start signing some of our free agents, some of these lower guys will be cut, and they're no guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you know, basically what they do is at the end of the year they get their practice squad guys in, they sign them to a future contract.
Yep.
They get some other guys they saw throughout the league on practice squads because their contract then ends. They sign them to a future to see if they'll pan out. And, you know, going into training camp, they have like 95 guys on the roster, so they fill out. So it's not that, you know, you just sign a bunch of players. I mean, obviously they sign them for a reason, but it doesn't look like they'll mostly make the team. So you'll get some more cap space there. But we're looking at somewhere roughly around 50 million. Now, the other thing you do have to keep in mind, though, for the salary cap, we have to keep, now we have 2 first-round picks. So we have to keep, you know, roughly $8 to $8.5 million.
Just for the draft picks. Just for the draft picks.
So some of that money is going to be eaten up there.
And it's very possible, and we'll talk more about this in other episodes when it comes close to draft time. I personally do not think we will be drafting both 21st and 22nd. I think we'll either use both those picks to draft up, or use at least one of those picks to go back. That's my personal belief. We will both be doing a mock draft, so we'll show you what that's like. And unlike most mock drafts you see online, I'll be doing trades. Like, I'll show the trades, and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my personal belief. So that will either way, I think that would open up more money, because either we'll have just the 1 first-round pick, or we'll have 1 first-rounder and
you know, if they trade back and get more picks, that fills other positions of need, which also will save, because the way it is, the rookie wage scale, they make less than them signing a veteran player.
Right. Just a few years ago, I forget when, you might remember when, with the new collective bargaining agreement, rookies can only make a certain amount. No matter, like, if you drafted first overall, there's like a certain amount you can make, and if you drafted in the 7th round, there's only a certain amount you can make. So there's no more reason for rookie holdouts and things like that.
I mean, that was crazy back then. You'd have people holding out into the, you know, all but the first week of the season.
Exactly.
Like, it was just crazy, and they were getting, you know, $50 million guaranteed. Now, Tre'Davious White, I think he made over $2 million last year. Like, I have to look, his contract's actually pretty far down.
It was, I remember now, it was, because they called him the luckiest, it was the year Sam Bradford was the number 1 pick, because Sam Bradford got paid a boatload of money.
I think he was the last one to do it. Tre'Davious White got a 4-year, $10 million contract.
And that's like the max you can do. So so $8-9 million for our draft picks. We're okay with that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it about the salary cap. I don't know if you have any more information.
I think that's
about all we have. So if you have any questions, you know, put them in our comments. We'll happily answer them for you. There's probably a boatload of information we didn't have on this show, but
hopefully it helps you out.
Yeah, like it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So if you have any questions, obviously you can ask us. We will be back here with a show on free agency. So again, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, right? Subscribe to our channel, like our video here, or dislike it. You know, tell us what you think. So bye now. Thank you very much for joining us on Believers Talk with Steve and Joe.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.